Yes, Council President, council members, I sent
Were you turned on there?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay.
I sent you all an email earlier requesting that you resolve an issue that has arisen as a result of an inquiry or an allegation of misdoing, supposedly on my part, with the Ethics Committee. This has to do with specifically the off-duty employment and how we pay officers. As a result, I sent you all an email earlier today. I believe that needs to be resolved as quickly as possible, and asking you to consider it for this evening. The purpose of that is we often have off-duty officers who are involved in off-duty work as dictated by Resolution 649-49. And in order for that to continue, I need for this body to consider using the city as a mechanism for getting that money versus me. I've approached this several times with the mayor. It was denied every time. And I am not going to put myself on the line if this is possibly in question. And it is possibly in question, so I don't want to be technically incorrect, and so I need you to approve that. And in that memorandum, I propose a way of getting those funds in and doing that sort of stuff. I believe, Mr. Mixon, you have a copy of it.
Is this, I have a copy of the email that you sent?
Yes, sir.
The methodology, requests for off-duty assignments will continue as they have through the police department. The exception will be that instead of the party writing the check to the Friends of the Fairhope Police Department, it will be written to the City of Fairhope and deposited as such through the city account. Similar, if not the same, as that which takes in fines, payments for electrical, water, etc. The city will take out all taxes and payment to the officers will be on their check stub indicating off-duty payment. It is up to the council to determine if any retirement contribution should be matched. These procedures are easily implemented, and one need to go no further than to Mobile to see how they do it.
That's correct. And so we're asking you to go ahead and at least look at this as quickly as possible, because again, the way we have been doing it, which we believe is legally sound, has been, there's been a question raised. So I don't want to embarrass the city. I don't want to embarrass anybody, the police department or anyone. So I'm doing everything, I'm calculating everything to correct that if in fact it's incorrect. Now if in fact the commission comes back and says there's no harm, no foul, as we hope that they will do, then we can go back to the same business. But until that's done, I can't take the chance, and I don't think the city should take that chance either.
Is this a request for immediate consideration? And
yes, sir, on our part.
Immediately?
Yes, sir, it is. And I apologize for the shortness of this, but all this has abruptly come about within the past few days, and of course we had the weekend to, that we couldn't address this.
Any discussions?
Chief, I got a call last night. Somebody in a Mystic organization, and they said, I know nothing about this, they just said that they had not been charged to take floats from Fairhope down to the Daphne city limits before. And he says, we probably should have been charged something. But he said all the members at the meeting tonight were wondering why the the check came back, I forget how much it was, $300 to $700, I don't know what, came back endorsed to the Friends of the Fairhope Police Department rather than the City of Fairhope. And I said, I don't know, but I'll ask the mayor.
I think you better ask Mayor, because I have no idea what you're talking about specifically. Okay. We can certainly look into it if you send me the particulars, but I don't know. I can't answer.
I'm not accusing anybody anything. I'm just saying that I got a call. I don't know anything about it. But apparently, this organization rents their floats from the Jubilee or something, the Nation Jubilee. Is that right?
We rent them to the Shadow Barons.
Shadow Barons, that's what it was, Shadow Barons. And that they had been in the past, and what's in the past is the past. All of them, escorting them down there for nothing. They said that was probably not correct. We should have been paying something.
I can't answer it.
But he said that the check, when the agreement was with the police department, but when they told him to write the check, they told him to write it to the friends of the police department. I said, I don't know anything about that. And he says, well, the questions came up, and I think we need to clear it up because of what 100 people in the organization in that meeting, is that if these men were already on duty during the middle of the day, why would they charge extra? And where
They wouldn't be. There's no way they would be. If they're on duty handling it at the city as a city function, then they would not be charged for any off-duty work.
I'm going to ask the man to give me a letter stating what he's talking about, and of course, give
Like
me
I said, we'll be happy to. Again, this police department, and when I say this police department, under my administration, has been totally transparent and will continue to be transparent. We have, in this particular case, we not only address this issue with the commission itself or the commission representative, but we've also worked and will continue to work with Hallie Dixon on this, the FBI, IRS, and any other investigative entity, because our intent, again, is to do the right thing. In fact, I wasn't going to go into why we did this, but the way the old account was being used, and I'll be turning this over to the news media tonight, was what we believe to be improper. That was the reason for closing the old account, reopening the new account with stipulations such as not purchasing alcohol, no misuse of funds, so on and so forth. So it was with that intent that we closed this. Now, if in fact what you're suggesting is true, then obviously there was an error, but we're open to anything to look at any possibility whatsoever. Again, there is absolutely no reason or no reason whatsoever for if someone is on duty as double dipping. That's illegal. I find out if that's the case, and they'll, there's going to be some issues.
Well, like I say, I'm the vessel. And it does strike me a little funny, though, that who gave the order?
Who gave what order?
If you didn't know about this, you haven't heard about this?
No, this is the first I'm hearing about it.
And you say you're not familiar with it, so.
No, I'm open. What are you suggesting? That I ordered it? Are you suggesting I ordered it?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm asking you.
Okay, and I'm telling you that I know absolutely nothing about what you're talking about, but we'll be happy to look at
I
it.
will get you a letter too, because I'd like to know. They asked me, and there's a bad misunderstanding there, and we either knock it in the head or we look into it.
Absolutely, 100%. Again, you should know more than anyone else, Mr. Ford, that we've been totally open with everything that we do here.
Is there any other questions?
Yeah, Tug, do we have to do anything with regard to this retirement, or can we just treat this as off?
The way it was done in the past is that when a police officer worked off duty in his own time, he would be paid directly by the private party who was hosting the event. And then it would be up to him to do a 1099 or the police officer to report the income. The city totally stayed out of that. And there is some problem. I understand, Nancy's not here tonight, but I understand there's some accounting issues about this type of off-duty earned money coming through the city in any fashion whatsoever. That this off-duty money should not be put in the city's general account. And I think that's because of certain accounting principles and rules that those funds should not be commingled. And I think we just ought to take a look at it and be sure.
Could you have a special account?
Well, I don't think the city can have a special account. I think you have to ask Nancy Wilson that, or the city's accountants and auditors. I'm not sure about that, but my understanding is that the city's off-duty earned money by police officers off duty as private people serving in a private capacity should not be coming through city accounts.
If I may, just so everyone is clear on this, this practice was done when I got here. The officers were paid either under the table or they were paid through the old Friends of the Fairhope Police Department account. This is nothing new. I didn't just start this thing. However, I will say this. One of the very first things that I said to this board when I first got here was I believed that was improper because it did not show transparency and there was no accountability. I believe that the police officers here that